It's time.
It's time.
Time to meet the women who make a living around fast cars.
Hello, ladies.
This is Women Take the Wheel.
Sit down, strap in, and turn on all you've got.
Nikki Clark is taking you behind the scenes.
You're ready to win.
Let me tell you, these cars, they get up and go pretty good.
Introducing you to women drivers, crew members, and fans of the racing world. Plus, Nikki is bringing you the latest racing news in Indiana and beyond.
We're going to bring it to you from the tower as they get ready to pull into the beam.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network.
All right, strap yourselves in.
Getting off the track and in your ears. This is Women Take the Wheel.
Come on, baby.
With your host,
Here we go.
Nikki Clark.
Hi, I'm Nikki Clark, your host for Women Take the Wheel, right here on the All Indiana Podcast Network. And on this episode, are you a Taylor Swift fan? Do you have a Swiftie in your life? Well, I have Lindsey Hennig from Bell Racing Helmets in studio, and she's going to tell us all about a very special project they have going on that will teach Taylor Swift fans flooding into Indianapolis all about legendary women in motorsports. And at the same time, it's helping the organization Women in Motorsports North America. Stay tuned.
We're driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/match. Just go to Indeed.com/match right now and support this show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/match. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Welcome to Dunkin'.
With Amex Gold, you can get up to $84 back annually at Dunkin' locations. So your morning pick-me-up
Can I have a medium iced coffee with one?
tastes even better. That's the powerful backing of American Express. Enrollment required. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/withAmex.
And welcome to another Women Take the Wheel. And today I have with me from Bell Helmets, I have Lindsey Hennig and Mimi. How are you doing?
We're good. How are you?
Good. It's a little bit of a take two. Don't get us started. But anyways, and Lindsey and I met through racing. We are both like big racing fans. I think NHRA is where we really first met.
Yes.
Yeah. But now you're with Bell Helmets. And you have two very special helmets here, which are very cool. And if you're watching via video, you can see it. But we'll get to that later. But tell me a little bit about Bell Helmets, because I know it because you're known here in Indy.
Yes.
And in racing. But tell us a little bit about Bell Helmets.
Yeah, so Bell Helmets is one of the leading helmet manufacturers. We field a majority of the IndyCar drivers. So we provide a lot of the helmets to them. And not just IndyCar, we do a lot of dirt, karting, all kinds of different disciplines. And then we are also owned by OMP. So we do the safety apparel as well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So our parent company is called Racing Force Group. So we do a lot of different things in the racing industry. And we are continuing to build on that and excited to continue to be with the company and continue to improve the safety industry. And
yeah, I was going to say, you got to keep everybody safe out there.
Absolutely.
And we know Bell Helmets, and like I said, they play a major factor. I've heard drivers be like, Bell Helmet, that's the only thing I'll wear.
Yes, absolutely. That's always fun to hear people and hear how long they've been wearing our products. So
that is awesome. And now can regular people buy helmets too for like other stuff besides racing?
So all of our helmets are only used for racing. So they are only homologated for racing purposes. They are not DOT rated for motorcycles, which is what you would need to be legally able to use a helmet on the street for a motorcycle.
See, that makes sense. That's why I asked, because people will be like, I want a Bell helmet.
Yes. So Bell Racing, which is what we consider ourselves, is the racing side, and Bell Helmets, which is like the motorcycle, bicycle. We are technically two separate companies, but you see, it's the same name, but two separate companies.
I like that. That's good to know. I didn't know that. So there we go. And the two in front of you are so beautifully decorated. Yes. If you didn't know, they are Taylor Swift inspired. And for those of you who know, Taylor Swift's kind of got these concerts going on. And I guess they're kind of big. And she's going to be here next week in Indianapolis. I mean, it's huge. News stations are doing stories every day. I mean, everybody's doing it. But what you're doing is very cool, and it's going to be helping a really good group. So tell us a little bit about these helmets and what's going on.
Yes. So I have 2 of 11 helmets here with me today, and Swifties will know why I chose these 2 particular helmets. I have the Reputation-themed helmet and the Debut-themed helmet. So Indianapolis is all about racing.
Yes.
And so I wanted to find a way not only to expand the Bell brand and market us to a new group of people, but to also introduce our motorsports culture to all of these Swifties, to do something fun. This project was actually kind of inspired by some custom designed corgi statues that celebrated the Queen's Jubilee several years ago.
Yes, I saw those, yeah.
So I thought, oh, what can we do that's like something like that for the Taylor Swift concert? So with the help of several artists from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, they designed these helmets to represent each of Taylor's eras. And these helmets are going to be on display at several different hotels downtown Indianapolis next weekend. And we have actually paired up with the Swift Alert app. And if you're not familiar
I'm not familiar with
app, so I actually came across it by happenstance, but they do a game called Mastermind. And so the big thing now with Taylor's concerts is predicting what outfit she's going to wear each night.
No way.
It's like turned into this big, huge game. I am not very good at the game. My high score is like 72, I think. But so you can go in and predict what outfit she's going to wear for each set. And so we have teamed up with them. And in this app, you're going to be able to go to a page in the app, and there will be a map where you'll be able to see where all of the helmets are.
Oh, wow.
And then there will be a drop-down menu, so you'll be able to... actually, each helmet is going to be paired with a different female race car driver, which is where the Women in Motorsports North America partnership comes into play. So we have taken 10 different female drivers, and we have paired them with one of these helmets. So as fans go around, they will be able to scan a QR code, and there will be a bio on each of these drivers that pops up.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yes. So we'll be able to also introduce these fans to these amazing women, to be able to just... Because Taylor's all about female empowerment and everything like that. So just such a great tie-in. And then you'll be able to go in and kind of pair, like, select which driver was with what era, and then you'll hopefully be able to win some prizes through the Swift Alert app if you submit all the correct answers. And then once the weekend is over, we're actually going to put all of these helmets up for auction, and all of the proceeds are going to end up going to Women in Motorsports North America.
Okay, first off, I'm like, this is so integrated. Like, I had no idea. Because, I mean, I know Taylor Swift. I know there's a concert. I know she dates my man Travis, which I liked him before she did. But I had no idea that all this was going around and they could do it. And so there's 10 helmets then?
So there's 11 helmets. We were originally going to combine the Folklore and Evermore helmet like she did on the tour.
Yep.
But IMS went above and beyond and ended up just doing 2 separate helmets. So those 2 helmets are actually going to be displayed at one hotel. But so there will be 10 hotels with 11 helmets. But yeah, they're all going to be on display. You'll be able to go see them in person, interact with them, be able to learn more about women in motorsports and these drivers that they're paired with, and be able to get your photos with the helmets and see all these amazing details, and see what the IMS team did.
And is it just IndyCar women who are featured, or did you feature a bunch of women drivers?
So
really?
It's a bunch of different drivers. So some of the drivers are Pippa Mann, who you may be familiar with.
Yep, met Pippa.
Jamie Chadwick.
Yes.
Who else did we have on the list? Lynn St. James is one of them, who is just an absolute legend in the industry. But I don't want to spoil them all, but that's just a few of them.
Yeah, because I was wondering, I'm like, dude, to me, it's like, I don't know what you did, but I'm like, to me, Reputation had to be Courtney Force, because Courtney Force actually had the Reputation car.
She did, yes, but we did have to stick with all Bell drivers. Okay. So, which made sense.
That is, but because I'm looking at the snake and I'm like, now I remember where that comes from.
Yes.
But I love that these young girls, because that's the thing about so many of these groups and me is exposing women drivers and motorsports to girls, and they may not have known about these, and it empowers them.
Absolutely.
I absolutely love it. And so next we're going to tell, so it's in partnership with Women in Motorsports North America with Cindy, and I love this group. So do you want to tell us a little bit about this group and what we have going on up here?
Yes. Women in Motorsports North America. So I actually was just introduced to them not too long ago. And since then, I have dove headfirst into this program. It's absolutely amazing. Cindy has appointed herself my mentor since I've been introduced to this group, and she is just an incredible human being. So they are made up of many different professional women in the motorsports industry, and then our male counterparts, which we refer to as our allies.
Yep.
And so they have just created a space to help educate on the industry, advocate for us females, and create just different opportunities, like with my intern I have here today, Amelia. So through the Women Up program, I was able to hire Amelia to come in and help me. So she has been able to help me out with this activation, and is actually going to be with me through December to help out with a bunch of different events, and help kind of get her some experience and get her foot in the door in the motorsport industry, and hopefully establish a career for her. So there's going to be a big summit here in December with the PRI show with WIMNA as well. So, I mean, it's just an incredible program, and they're doing something amazing for women.
Yeah, because if you didn't know, like I said, there's some big names behind this, too, because it was founded by Lynn St. James, legendary, who I've got to meet her several times. I just love her so much. She is just like, she's a badass. She is the original badass. I'm sorry.
Yes.
And another name people might recognize, Beth Peretta, who is also in IndyCar, and just two amazing women. And like I said, it's because it seems like myself and all these women groups, our goal is to teach the girls, to expose the girls, to like let them know about the careers. They may not know about the careers because there's so many different careers in motorsports for women. I mean, look at us. I mean,
I mean, who knew there was a career just working with helmets? So
yeah, I know, because I'm like, when you told me that, I'm like, that's so cool. And I've looked at all the stuff you've done and the impact you're making with Bell helmets. And like, and when I read about what you're doing, and I'm just like, okay, this is crazy good. And the Women in Motorsports event, too, that we have coming up in Indy, it's the week leading into PRI, so it is December 10th through 11th, I cannot wait to attend, too. But at this event, can you tell us a little bit about the things we're going to have at the event that people can go and see what kind of things they're going to be offering?
Yeah, so they're going to have several different workshops that are going to consist of panels of professional women in the sport, just to talk about different relevant topics, ways to educate the women that are attending, some of which that are kind of some more taboo subjects, some subjects that people are maybe a little afraid to talk about. I know one of the topics is like microaggressions in the workplace, so something that people don't, maybe a little scared to talk about publicly. And
That's
so,
good.
Those are the conversations that you need to have. Those are important to learn about. And something that, like going into the industry myself, you don't hear about some of that stuff, but it's good to know. It's good to know about. So they're going to have different panels. Each day they're going to have different opportunities for these girls to go network with several different people within the industry, create those contacts. There's going to be a breakfast at the Brickyard, so they're going to take these girls out there to go have breakfast out at IMS. And then they're also doing a tour, so they're going to do some shop tours and take all these girls out to several different places. I think like Ray Hall and Andretti to see all the shops, which is going to be super cool. And then they're also doing some special sessions for drivers as well.
Because there's so much more that goes into it that you don't know.
Yeah.
But like I said, internships, I tell you, this is where internships, because this is stuff you're not going to learn in the classroom.
Yes.
You can study all you want, but you need to get out with these people and do events like this so you can see how the real world, how the real racing world work, and you learn all the behind stuff and all things. I can't tell you, I'm like, internships. And so I'm glad that you got the opportunity. Have you been learning a lot so far?
I have been learning so much. I've only been on the team for a few weeks now, and Lindsay, I say this affectionately, has really thrown me in the deep end. Like, I'm out here making social media assets, writing press releases, like attending photo shoots with the IMS and doing so much that I had zero previous experience with. I feel like I'm also in an interesting position where I didn't really get into motorsports despite being from Indianapolis until like when I was at the very end of my college career and completely planning on going into a different career path. So WMNA has been super essential for me to like, I'm technically too old to work some internships that require you to be in college. Yeah. So WMNA is out here. They're allowing me to volunteer. They're allowing me to get experience meeting women and other people in the industry. They've helped me get this internship that I wouldn't otherwise have been able to get had it not been for their influence and their help. So it's been absolutely phenomenal to have these other women in the industry, like looking out for me, someone who realized that she wanted to work in motorsports too late, but it's not too late because I have these people to help me. Yeah, and then WMNA is also talking about the Women with Drive Summit. They're a bunch of us that I've met through WMNA. They're starting a college chapter here in Indianapolis.
Oh, wow, that's very cool.
Yes, so because there are lots of motorsport programs and young women interested in motorsport here in the city of Indianapolis and the greater area. Like I've met some great young women from Purdue and IU Bloomington and other schools in the state who are traveling to Indy just to go to these WMNA events. So a lot of us are going to be volunteering at the summit. There's so many ways for us to get involved, like adding WMNA volunteer experience to our resume and then getting these internships that WMNA is helping provide are so essential to helping us all start our careers in motorsport. And I've also met so many people. Like I didn't realize how many young women in Indiana alone are so passionate about working in motorsport.
Oh, yeah.
So it's so great to see it. And it's like I can confidently give you a list of the next generation of women in motorsport. And it's also Lindsey, people like you, Cindy, Lynn, Beth. They're helping all of us get jobs and they're helping prepare this. I consider myself to be the next generation, and they're preparing all of us for actual careers with those real conversations and getting us hands-on experience that I don't think we would have otherwise been able to get without WMNA.
And I tell you what, it's the Indianapolis thing, too. It's the Indianapolis vibe. I'm not going to lie. There's a reason we're called the motorsports capital of the world because I previously lived in Minnesota and Kansas. And, yeah, I liked racing, but not too many people did. Like, they didn't even know what I did. Didn't know how motorsport. And I came here, like, I didn't know about IndyCar, really, till I moved. I know I knew Indy 500. And then I moved here, and I'm addicted now. I'm like, oh, my God. And it's beautiful to drive through Speedway and to have so many people who do know racing around me and to be able to talk racing with other women because I didn't get that back where I lived before too much. Yes. Except for like Sarah Walker, who also was working with you on doing the event. It's like same thing when she came and I'm like, oh, I have somebody from Kansas City to talk racing with. I love it.
And it's amazing. When I first started in the racing industry, like the main women you saw were basically just your PR girls, your marketing girls. And I mean, this was a little over 8 years ago. And now, I mean, a majority of the IndyCar teams have at least one mechanic, at least one female engineer. I mean, you can't look at a team without seeing a handful of women that are beyond just the PR and the marketing team, and it's incredible.
I got girlfriends at Chip Ganassi. I got Andretti. They work on the car. They're jumping over the wall, and I'm like, I love it, you know. And so like I said, I love groups like WMNA, who are Women in Motorsports North America, full title, that are encouraging and helping. Because, like I said, you got to get that foot in the door, and I feel like that's something that they're doing too. So, and like I said, I need to go back these Taylor Swift helmets. They are just like so cool. So, what other eras are we gonna for somebody who's a non-Swiftie? Yes. Like I said, I know where I like some of her songs. I love Travis, but what are some of the other eras we're gonna see?
You're gonna see them all 11 eras.
What are the 11 eras? I don't know.
Oh, gosh.
I think you're more of a Swiftie than me, so I think you can list them in order, right?
Well, I've also been staring at the list of them for like the past 2 months. Yeah. So you've got Debut, Fearless, Speak Now, Red, 1989, Lover, Reputation. I just went out of order there. There's the pressure's on. Folklore.
And you call yourself a real Swiftie.
Evermore, Midnights, and the Tortured Poets Department.
Oh, wow. And now, who are the artists who painted on these helmets? Do you know who some of the artists are?
Off the top of my head, I don't have their names off the top of my head. I can read you a list. I just got a list.
That's okay.
I think we should totally call them out.
Yeah, because there are so many people don't realize like helmet designs are a thing.
Yes.
They are your personality, because what do people see on camera when you're in car camera? They're seeing your helmet, and it shows so much your personality. And there's some artwork that goes into it. I mean, I've watched some of these guys make these helmets, and I'm like, wow. And it truly shows their personality. So who do we have? Some of the artists.
So we have Lucy, Shay, Mandy, Chloe, Caden, and Grace.
So they're all artists who do this.
They are all part of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway design team.
Yeah, I met some of them. Okay, yeah.
So they all did these. And I mean, just an incredible job. So I didn't really give them any guidance besides just, here's the eras, obviously. And they came back, and I mean, they look so good. I'm so excited for everybody to see them.
And like when they get to buy, and when they go up for, it's auction, right?
Yes.
It's auction too. I'm like, somebody's going to have a really cool, I'm like, this is going to look awesome on your shelf.
It's going to be a one of a kind. I mean, who else is going to own a Taylor Swift racing helmet?
I know.
I mean, there's only going to be 11 of them in the world.
Okay, so Swifties and racers, and like, this is your chance now. And I know some racing Swifties. I know a lot of girls who are going to be there. So I'm like, how cool will this be? This will be something you can brag to all your friends about.
Absolutely.
And the money is going to go to such a great organization. And it's going to help so many other girls. So you're not just buying a t-shirt or a sweatshirt or something like that everybody else is going to have. Nobody else is going to have this.
Literally.
And it's going to help such a great group. Now, tell everybody again where they can learn more about Bell Helmets and this initiative and everything.
Yeah, so you can learn more at bellracing.com. There will be a landing page on there that we are going to dedicate directly about this program. So you'll be able to find the link to the auction site. And then there'll also be a link to the WIMNA site, so you can learn more about that. There will be a link to the Swift Alert page, so you can also go and download the app so you can participate to find everything and see everything that those wonderful folks have been working on. And the app is just so fun, too. They're going to do an event next Friday. They're going to do a live version of Mastermind at Hotel Indy. They're just going to have over 200 Swifties all in one room playing this game. And we're going to be there, too. Because obviously 2 of the helmets are going to be displayed at that hotel. And so we're going to be there hanging out and just enjoying the party. Because, sadly, we couldn't get tickets. So
there's still time.
But we're still going to hang out with the other Swifties since, concert's a little out of the budget. But
yeah, I've heard that sound. Well, thank you so much for being here, you guys.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait for everybody to see all these helmets on display and learn so much about women in motorsports.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks.
Let your imagination soar with Audible. With stories across every genre, from expert advice to fantasy, you'll be inspired to imagine new worlds, possibilities, and ways of thinking. Listening can even lead to a positive change in your mood, habits, and overall well-being. As an Audible member, you'll get to choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog, including bestsellers and new releases. Allow yourself to delve into the spooky this season by listening to classics like Stephen King's The Shining and Pet Sematary. There's more to imagine when you listen. New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/imagine or text imagine to 500-500. That's audible.com/imagine or text imagine to 500-500.
T-Mobile 5G internet keeps getting better. Boost your connection to harder-to-reach places with Home Internet Plus and get internet right where you want it.
With Wi-Fi that reaches the attic, I finally have a home office.
Get a free upgrade to T-Mobile Home Internet Plus while supplies last. Home Internet Plus starts at $50 a month with autopay and any voice line. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
During congestion, customers on this plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using greater than 1.2 terabytes per month due to data prioritization. After $20 bill credit plus $5 per month without autopay. Debit or bank account required. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies.
Thank you again for listening. I'm Nikki Clark, and this is Women Take the Wheel. Be sure to connect and follow on Facebook when you search for Women Take the Wheel podcast. And please be sure to follow and subscribe to this podcast right now on the All Indiana Podcast Network.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, This is Women Take the Wheel with Nikki Clark. Follow and subscribe to this podcast now and discover even more great podcasts on the All Indiana Podcast Network. Online at allindianapodcastnetwork.com. allindianapodcastnetwork.com.